all alone in a 5-star resort. Imagine finding yourself at a super high-end resort and no one else is there.
Gotta be someone here.
Next Inside Edition.
Tonight at 7:30 on Channel 3. You're watching Channel 3, home of Super Bowl 58.
Some breaking news right now at 5 o'clock. The challenger in the Bridgeport mayoral race said he is not backing down.
The latest on the announcements by both campaigns and what comes next for the city's general election.
Also right now at 5 in the Troconis trial, the jury sees more surveillance video and hears from a detective about a red pickup truck tied to the case.
And several ATM thefts under investigation all across the state.
Yeah, we'll have the very latest about what we know about that crime spree tonight.
And we see an end to these cloudier skies, but before that transition takes place, a chance for some rain or snow showers. The very latest timeline in the First Alert forecast.
Now, Channel 3 Eyewitness News begins with breaking news.
Right now at 5 o'clock, we start tonight with a significant update in the ongoing race for mayor in Bridgeport.
John Gomes has announced he is staying in the running for February's general election, while Ganim responded with a message to voters who are now going to the polls for a 4th time. Good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight at 5. I'm Erin Connolly.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mark Zinni. Let's get right to Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Hector Molina. He is in Bridgeport with a message from both candidates tonight. Hector?
Well, Mark, starting with Gomes, he didn't mince any words this afternoon, saying a withdrawal will not happen and that this race is far from over. Now, the timing of that announcement is important because the court order says that if Gomes dropped out before tomorrow, February 1st, then the February general election would have been called off entirely. Now, at his campaign headquarters earlier today, that's where he made his announcement. Gomes says Governor Ned Lamont and members of the Bridgeport City Council were calling for an end to his campaign. That came after Ganim won for a 3rd time. However, Gomes argues their call for him to concede ignores the ballot scandal that started this all. Following Gomes' announcement, Ganim also held a press briefing himself, saying he feels bad that many voters are tired of the fact that they have to come vote for now a 4th time. Now, both candidates had their own message as to why the people of Bridgeport should still cast their ballots in February's general election.
To give up is to concede, and to concede is to accept, and to accept is to repeat history, and to repeat history means that Bridgeport will never change.
Let's send it to Mr. Gomes and them that if they want to take their anger and their approach somewhere, take it somewhere else. It doesn't belong in government and public service. That became even more clear to me today. I need people to come out and vote.
Now, both Ganim and Gomes were asked if state legislators should implement some type of election reform so a scandal like this doesn't happen again. You'll hear their response to that question tonight on the news at 11. Now, as for that February general election, that will happen on February 27th. We're live in Bridgeport tonight. Hector Molina, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Hector, thank you. Another big story we're following right now, a red pickup truck and its potential connection to the disappearance of Jennifer Farber-Dulos.
For the 2nd day in a row, it was the focus of testimony at the Michelle Troconis trial. Channel 3 New Haven Bureau Chief Matt McFarland is live outside Stanford Superior Court to break it all down for us. Matt.
Well, Aaron and Mark, state police processed that truck belonging to an employee of Fotis Dulos on 3 separate occasions. Now, today, early on the stand was retired state police detective Matthew Riley. He was the evidence collection officer with the Western District Major Crime Squad in this case. Riley says he processed and collected evidence from that red 2001 Toyota Tacoma pickup truck belonging to Pavel Gimeni, who worked for Fotis Dulos' company, the 4 Group. Police believe that red pickup truck traveled from Farmington down to New Canaan and back the morning Dulos' wife, Jennifer, disappeared. Riley testified while the 18-year-old car appeared to have been cleaned recently, he swabbed for DNA, tested for blood, even eventually removing carpeting and a side door panel off the truck. Riley says one thing that was clear to investigators, though, is that the front seats had been removed, replaced with seats from a Porsche, with Riley telling jurors he had previously processed a property belonging to Fotis Dulos where he noted a Porsche in the garage of that home. A Porsche, he says, that was missing seats.
Not in the front. I remember the front seats were missing.
The seats that were in the Toyota Tacoma that day, what were they?
They were leather seats from a Porsche.
Now, even with the testing that was going on, the defense argues that there was no positive blood tests found in that truck. So in addition to the blood test, also we had information, testimony on fingerprint testing. What did police find at the state lab there? We'll have that part of the story coming up tonight on Eyewitness News at 6. We're live at the mobile newsroom outside Stamford Superior Court. Matt McFarland, Channel 3. Eyewitness News.
Another big story we are following right now at 5. Police investigations underway at convenience stores in a number of towns all across the state because of ATM thefts and attempted thefts.
Departments in Vernon, Manchester, Wallingford, and Milford say they've been investigating similar incidents. Pinpoint News Tracker shows us how widespread these investigations are. Police say criminals were able to steal gas station ATMs in Wallingford and Milford.
Now, gas stations in Manchester and Vernon were also broken into, but they were not able to actually get the machine out of there. Police believe some of these crimes are connected since they used a similar method of tying a cable or a rope around the ATM to their vehicle. Police do have surveillance footage, as you can see, of these crimes. We'll have a lot more on this coming up right here at 6.
All right, a lot of cloud cover, of course, persisting. That's been in the First Alert forecast, and it's not going to go away anytime soon. Certainly by the weekend, but in the meantime, First Alert Live Radar, it is scanning clear and dry. There could be some patchy fog or a little drizzle develop later on tonight, but otherwise, no real organized rain in our neighborhood by any stretch. Temperatures even slow to drop this evening, only by, say, a degree or two over the next several hours. Overnight, we'll bottom out upper 20s and low 30s. Inland, between 30 and 35 along the shoreline. And then tomorrow, like today, a lot of cloud cover. However, with a bit of a southwesterly wind that has already started to develop, tomorrow it's going to trend temperatures a bit warmer than today as we reach between 40 and 45 during the afternoon, despite that overcast sky. We could see a couple intervals of sun. We'll have much more on the chance for a rain or snow shower Friday, and then a transition to much brighter thereafter, all ahead in the First Alert 7-day.
Mark, thank you very much. Today, the Hartford courthouse was briefly evacuated after a report of an underground electrical fire. Eversource and fire crews helped get the fire under control and were told no one lost power. Some streets in the area were briefly closed, but everything has since reopened.
Tonight, we have an update on some breaking news we first brought you earlier here at 4.
A Bristol man is under arrest, accused of sexually assaulting a child in his home. Channel 3's Stephanie Simone is at the First Alert Desk with what we've learned from DCF in the last hour. Stephanie.
Aaron and Mark, Bristol police made the arrest Friday. We just got the warrant today, and there are really disturbing allegations of sexual assaults that took place over a period of 11 years. This is 63-year-old Roger Barrio. He's accused of sexually assaulting a girl in his care every day for years and getting the girl pregnant when she was just 13 years old. He was her legal guardian at the time. Now, the alleged assaults happened between 2004 and 2015. The victim, who is now an adult, went to police last May. Barrio is also a foster parent with the State Department of Children and Families. Within the past hour, DCF clarified that the child he is accused of assaulting was not a foster placement, but instead a child he received guardianship of through probate court. DCF tells us they are aware of the case and they are working with police, but they are unable to discuss any active criminal investigations. Meanwhile, Barrio is due in court in 2 weeks. On the First Alert Desk, I'm Stephanie Simone, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Just absolutely horrifying, Stephanie. Thank you. Tonight, a group of women in Waterbury are fed up with gun violence in the city, and they're hosting a panel discussion at Veterans Memorial Hall tonight at 6, inviting the community to ask questions and share how gun violence is impacting them. Channel 3 Waterbury Bureau Chief Audrey Russo has more on what inspired this event.
Statistics on gun violence seem like scattered, unrelated stories in Waterbury.
In 2022, Waterbury had 12 gun homicides. In 2023, Waterbury had 15 gun homicides.
Ask the community, and you'll see those numbers weaved into a narrative that's repeated over and over.
Oh, no, they're a good kid, or they're not around, things like that.
Every day I'm hearing about somebody die on my block.
Some community members are trying to change the narrative. Kayla Ireland and her mom, Latoya Ireland, are with the organization Black Women United Waterbury. They're hosting a gun violence panel discussion with the mayor, chief of police, and other gun violence advocates tonight. They started pulling the event together after the December shooting in the Brass Mill Center Mall.
Someone was really bold enough to shoot to let off a gun inside of our mall.
I checked in on the most recent court records for the suspect in the Waterbury Mall shooting. Marcos Gonzalez Jr. was originally held on $1.5 million bail. He needed to post 30% of that, or $450,000, in order to be released, and it appears that as of this time, that amount hasn't been posted.
I can't say that the police is not doing enough, because I know that they are doing what they can.
In 19-year-old Gonzalez's case, his prior run-ins with police resulted in a felony that should have prevented him from having a gun before the December mall shooting even happened.
It will be people that you least expect who are victims or are helping someone else become a victim.
In Waterbury, Audrey Russo, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
In Berlin, police say they were able to stop a stolen vehicle with the help of OnStar this morning. Cromwell police officers first spotted the car on Route 372. Police tracked the car using OnStar and found it in Berlin and tried to use stop sticks to bring it to a stop, but the car kept going. Then it was remotely turned off using OnStar. The people inside managed to run away, and police are still looking for them tonight.
Tonight, there's a new Quinnipiac University poll focusing on the 2024 race for president. If the race is a repeat of the 2020 election between President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump, Biden holds a lead over Trump 50 to 44% among registered voters. But when it comes to gender, a new poll shows that gap is widening. Women 58 to 36% support Biden, up from December when it was 53 to 41%. Men support Trump 53 to 42%, largely unchanged from December.
Still ahead tonight at 5, it was decision day for interest rates, why the Fed left them unchanged for now.
And today, the CEOs of some of the most popular apps were grilled on Capitol Hill, how they responded to whether they're doing enough to protect kids.
And if you looked outside today, you know it certainly wasn't the nicest day, right? Well, Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon is working on that first alert forecast. He'll have the very latest coming up.
Connecticut's most trusted team at 5, 6, and 11. Mark Zinni, Aaron Connolly, and First Alert Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon. Only on Eyewitness News.
Now that it's the new year, you're probably planning and gearing up for those spring projects. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a contractor, why not gear up with SK Lavery? Our best package pricing on top quality appliances awaits. Take advantage of these great deals and low pricing now. Seize this opportunity to save big with our incredible savings. It's also the perfect time of year to upgrade. See you soon at SK Lavery. We're your #1 appliance store.
How you feel can be affected by the bacteria in your gut. Try New Align Probiotic Bloating Relief plus Food Digestion. It contains a probiotic to help relieve occasional bloating, plus vitamin B12 to aid digestion. Try Align Probiotic.
That grimy film on your teeth.
Dr. G?
It's actually the buildup of plaque bacteria, which can cause cavities.
Most toothpaste quit working in minutes, but Crest Pro Health's antibacterial fluoride protects all day.
They stop cavities before they start.
Crest.
Salonpas, makers of powerful pain relief patches for 89 years, believes in continuous improvement, like rounded corners that resist peeling, with an array of active ingredients and sizes to relieve your pain. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
Dream home at the Connecticut Home and Remodeling Show. Explore the latest trends, meet expert contractors, and turn your dreams into reality. Get your tickets now at cthomeshow.com. February 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Connecticut Realtors take into account something national news headlines and website algorithms don't. We know this is your house, your home, your future. If you've been on the fence about selling, now is the time. If you need space for a home office, a yard for your dog, or you simply want to downsize, we can help. With a Connecticut Realtor, it's never a seller's market or a buyer's market. It's always a you market. Contact a Connecticut Realtor today.
Elaborate lie and the resignation of the state's chief animal control officer.
They just said that this is nothing we should be involved in.
An I-Team exclusive that could impact pets across Connecticut. Thursday at 5. You're watching Eyewitness News at 5 with Aaron Connolly, Mark Zenny, and First Alert Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon. Connecticut's #1 local news. Eyewitness News continues.
New tonight, the Federal Reserve decided to once again leave interest rates alone at their meeting today.
With inflation falling significantly over the past year and a half to 3.4%, the group did not see the need for a rate hike, but the Fed also isn't ready to lower rates because it wants inflation down to 2%.
More people believe that it is the May meeting, the subsequent meeting, where we will see a rate cut.
For now, interest rates will remain at a 20-year high, which has made it more difficult and more expensive to buy a home or a car.
New tonight at 5, the CEOs of 5 of the top social media platforms were grilled today on Capitol Hill about their company's attempts to protect children from online sexual exploitation. At one point, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg addressed parents who say their children have been harmed by social media.
No one should have to go through the things that your families have suffered.
Now, he stopped short of apologizing, but said Meta has invested $20 billion in safety and security. But lawmakers say the companies don't go nearly far enough to protect children. After the hearing, advocates for child victims held a rally demanding accountability. Many families there say they were not satisfied with the answers from CEOs today.
House Republicans voted this morning to advance their impeachment articles against Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. The move sets up a vote on the articles by the full House of Representatives, though they haven't set a date yet. The controversial move would make him the first cabinet secretary to be impeached in nearly 150 years, but it's not expected to go anywhere in the Senate.
Gloomy, gloomy, gloomy.
Yeah. By the time we get to the weekend, the clouds will be gone, the sun will be out.
Well, the timing's good there.
Yes.
Yeah, I forget what it looks like.
You will soon see it.
Right.
Break out the sunglasses, and you can put the umbrellas away after Friday. There's a chance for a brief rain or snow shower, but certainly nothing too impactful. But first and foremost, as we close out the month of January, we do so in the record books. The top 5, in fact, the 3rd wettest January since 1905. 8.37 inches is our total. Of course, that's all the rain and the liquid equivalent of anything frozen. So again, we're looking primarily dry over the next 7 days. The one chance for a shower comes Friday, and that's even isolated in nature. Then we do turn brighter by the weekend, and overall temperatures will be running near, if not above average, over the next 7 days, perhaps even farther into the future than that. So First Alert Live radar right now showing that we are dry here across Connecticut. Temperatures are in the low and mid 30s inland, right near freezing, Salisbury, Torrington, also Putnam there in the quiet corner, mid and upper 30s along the 95 corridor. Compared to this time yesterday, we are several degrees warmer as expected thanks to a change in wind direction now up out of the southwest, and that's going to help boost temperatures tomorrow even higher than where we have seen them peak today. So right now where I can view from Torrington, showing the abundance of cloud cover, some lingering snow cover out there that will be melting, of course, with temperatures despite more clouds tomorrow going well above freezing. Similar scene coming in from Stores and from along the shoreline there in Old Saybrook. A little brightness there toward the horizon with sun setting just recently, of course. So across the region, cloud cover fairly prevalent, and again, we're looking basically dry otherwise. We could see a little patchy fog or some drizzle develop later on tonight. So if temperatures were to go below freezing, untreated surfaces, a few spots could become slick. Otherwise, as we look at the big picture, not much happening right now, but there's a cold front across Canada that's going to be swinging in our direction on Friday. That will give us that chance for a rain or snow shower. So overnight tonight, upper 20s, low 30s, mostly cloudy. Tomorrow, more of the same. Our cloudy stretch continues as we kick off the month of February. But again, temps tomorrow back in the, say, 40 to 45 degree range. So it will be milder despite that cloud cover. And here's that front tomorrow evening approaching, pushing through southern New England throughout the day on Friday. With that, again, maybe an isolated rain or snow shower. Behind this front, the wind becomes more northerly. High pressure builds in from the west. So high pressure winds out, and that will lead to that clearing trend. Here's Saturday morning, cloud cover over the Cape and Islands moving farther away from us. So a bright weekend for sure. Behind that front, by Friday afternoon, temperatures in the upper 30s and low 40s. And for the upcoming weekend, upper 30s to near 40 on Saturday, lower 40s on Sunday. Both days featuring ample sunshine. and overnight lows in the 20s. Normal low for this time of year is in the upper teens. So we are going to be running above average, and even next week, upper 30s and low 40s, Monday, Tuesday, and into Wednesday of next week. So a pretty quiet, tranquil stretch. Again, one chance, Groundhog Day, for an isolated rain or snow shower.
All right. Mark, thank you. Of course, we were talking about the clouds, and it's certainly been cloudy for 9 days in a row, in fact, but January this year is actually less cloudy than last year.
Yeah, which is pretty wild. First Alert meteorologist Jill Gilardi is live on the patio to explain this dreary weather. Jill, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting to compare one year to the other, especially when you feel like it is much cloudier than it has been like any winter, especially when you have 9 days in a row. But as you can see, yes, it is still overcast outside, and what we're going to be talking about is that typically during the month of December and January, it's cloudy 52% of the time for both months. So when comparing December and January of last meteorological winter to this year's, last January was cloudy 61% of the time, then compared to this year's 45%. So we're 13% less cloudy than normal. All right, so the other thing I want to talk about is the stat that stands out when comparing both months in terms of precipitation. So we're going to focus on January right now. It has been both wetter and snowier than last January. So psychologically, when we experience, too many days when it's cloudy in a row, and then combine the fact that we have not seen much sunshine, it has been wetter, snowier, it just gives that appearance that it's below or abnormal, certainly, that we should be seeing more sunshine when, yeah, we should be seeing more clouds on the other hand. Let's talk about Seattle, though. I know everyone thinks, are we cloudier than them? No, we're not, but certainly, nonetheless, this January, we've only had 3 days of full sunshine, Seattle none, so I guess a slight comparison, but nonetheless, we have some sunshine on the way for the weekend, as Mark was talking about, and you can keep up with that better-looking forecast through the WFSB First Alert weather app while you're on the go. For now, reporting live on the patio under a cloudy sky, I'm First Alert meteorologist Jill Gilardi, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Those brighter days are ahead, though, Jill. Thank you so much. Well, if you have your heart set on going to the Super Bowl, get ready to most likely pay more than ever.
Yeah, I guess not a big surprise here. They now estimate that a pair of tickets and 2 nights in Vegas will set you back 2 nights about $23,000. Experts say the main factor for the soaring cost is the location. At last check this afternoon, the average cost to fly from Bradley will set you back between $700 and $1,300 each. As for hotels, they're averaging about $400 a night to $1,000, depending how far you want to be from the Strip.
If you're looking for the best deal, look at your airlines, right? Maybe use some points to get down there. Look at the hotels that are off the Strip, and then look at maybe riding in like an Uber or something like that, or a Lyft to just get you across. Something easy where you don't have to rent a car, because supply and demand on the rental cars are going to be really high as well.
And obviously, your biggest expense will be tickets to the game. The average price is hovering around $9,000, which is 70% more expensive than last year.
Well, you know what's cheaper than that? Watching it at home.
Yes, a lot cheaper.
If you're staying home, you can watch it right here on Channel 3 coming up on February 11th.
Still ahead tonight, a team of deep sea explorers believe they've found the wreckage of Amelia Earhart's aircraft. What we are learning tonight.
And 5:22 right now. Let's head outside for a live look from our iCam over the capital city. You're watching Eyewitness News at 5.
After the accident, I was scared. I was worried about my future.
To get every dollar you deserve, put the law firm with experience and resources on your side. Get the Salamone and Morelli Advantage. Call 1-800-WIN-WIN-1 right now.
Our heating bills are ridiculous.
Mom, why is it so cold in here?
I always feel a draft.
If this sounds like your home, you need USA Insulation, because 7 out of 10 homes aren't properly insulated. We seal your home, keeping the cold air out and the warm air in, saving you lots of money.
We are so happy with USA Insulation.
We'll pay for 3 months of your utility bills with whole home insulation purchase.
USA Insulation.
It ain't my dad's razor, Dad.
Hey, watch it.
It's from Gillette Labs. This green bar releases trapped hairs from my face.
Game changer.
While the Flex, this contours to it. So the 5 blades can get virtually every hair in one stroke. For the ultimate Gillette shaving experience.
The best a man can get
is Gillette Labs.
For fast sore throat relief, try Vicks VapoCool Drops with 2 times more menthol per drop and powerful Vicks vapors to vaporize sore throat pain. Vicks VapoCool Drops. Vaporize sore throat pain.
Pops Exhaust and Auto Repair, we pride ourselves on providing the best service possible and having all of your car care needs under one roof. We not only specialize in custom exhaust, saving you time and money, we also provide our customers with top quality auto repair, full tire services, and more. With locations in Manchester, Wethersfield, and our newest location in Middletown, Connecticut, it's easy to stop by and check out all the Pops has to offer. At Pops, everybody wins.
No matter where you are in Connecticut, there's a Premier Subaru near you.
At Premier Subaru, not only do we have the inventory, our new Subarus are backed by our exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty at no extra charge. And for this month only, we have brand new Crosstreks for only $289 a month and brand new Foresters for only $325 a month. Plus special financing rates. With over 300 new Subarus in stock, you're sure to find the one you want. Visit us online at buyatpremier.com.
Are a headache. But at Harp Home Services, we have you covered with same-day solutions. Whether you need heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical services, our certified techs are here 24/7 to solve all those issues you didn't see coming. Plus, we offer industry-leading warranties, special offers, and flexible financing options. Call or schedule online today.
Well, if you're going to Vegas for the Super Bowl, this could be your last trip here because it's the end of an era for an iconic hotel on the Strip. The Tropicana will close its doors just shy of its 67th anniversary.
Yeah, the property is going to be demolished to make way for a new 30,000-seat Major League Baseball park. The hotel will shut down on April 2nd. There's no word, though, on exactly when that demolition will start. Tonight, the UConn men will host Providence at home in Stores. We have a live report from Gamble coming up.
We've been talking, of course, a lot about January. It's the 3rd wettest on record on the heels of December being the 3rd wettest December on record. And taking the entirety of meteorological winter, that's December, January, and the month that has yet to happen, February, we're already the 2nd wettest since records have been kept for that 3-month period. They date back to 1905. So we're just 0.3 of an inch away from moving into that top position. Of course, we've got 29 days to go, given that February is a leap year. So we'll have much more, of course, on those totals in the days ahead. Meanwhile, for tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a rain or snow shower possible on Friday. Then for Saturday, brighter weather returns. We'll have much more on that chance for a rain or snow shower and how long a brighter stretch will last. That's ahead in the First Alert 7 Day on Eyewitness News at 5:30.
CBS Premier Week.
NCIS! Hands where we can see them.
What are the charges?
Just one. Murder.
There's 3 of us. It's not really fair, right?
Welcome to paradise. NCIS returns, part of CBS Premier Week, Monday after Super Bowl 58 on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
I want Mom somewhere where she has privacy, but isn't alone.
I cut enough grass, and I've shoveled enough snow.
Sometimes I forget to eat.
Consider making your next home in a Hartford Healthcare Assisted Living community. We offer private apartment rentals with all the amenities, activities, services, and support you need.
I'm back to regular meals with some new friends.
Visit hartfordhealthcare.org/livebetter.
Show and Channel 3 has your tickets. Enter on Facebook to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Connecticut Home and Remodeling Show at the Connecticut Convention Center. We'll announce our next winner tomorrow at 3 on Great Day, Connecticut.
Harbor Freight knows on any given day, we're all mechanics, DIYers, and training wheel taker offers. We also know no one should overpay for dependable tools. But whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Knowing that Dave would be compensated for his lost earnings was such a relief to us. Connecticut Paid Leave helped us in the time that we needed it.
It's a wonderful resource. You should not have to worry about money when you're worrying about your health.
Head & Shoulders is launching something huge. The bare minimum. Anti-dandruff shampoo made with only 9 ingredients, no sulfates, silicones, or dyes, and packaged with 45% less plastic, giving you outstanding dandruff protection and leaving hair beautiful and moisturized. Major dandruff protection, minimal ingredients. Job done. New Head & Shoulders Bare.
3 and Liberty Bank have been spreading kindness across Connecticut. Do you know someone who's going above and beyond? Nominate them now on WFSB.com and help us surprise even more local heroes.
Well, the mystery continues right now around the plane Amelia Earhart was trying to fly around the world, or does it?
Now, a deep sea exploration company says they believe they have found the wreckage. Take a look at this sonar image from deep in the Pacific Ocean. The team at Deep Sea Vision says that grainy outline resembles the shape of her plane.
Most likely, she ran out of gas, so she would have tried to sort of pancake land the airplane into the water and the surface, and then as it filled with water, it would have slowly sank.
By the way, we read last night it was about 3 miles deep. That's how far down it is. They will go back out later this year to dive down and hopefully find out some new information.
That does it for Eyewitness News at 5.
Yes, but there's much more ahead right here at 5:30 tonight, and Stephanie's joining us now with more. Steph.
Mark and Aaron, we have a lot to get to right now at 5.